Hello and welcome back to London Cycle Routes. Today I'm going to show you how to cycle from High Street Kensington in West London to Paddington Station. It's quite a short one today, it only takes about 10-15 minutes and the whole route is on protected cycle lanes with a very short stretch on extremely quiet streets. If you want to see more routes like this across London, then do hit subscribe on the channel because that's what it's all about. Right, so let's get going. We're starting on Kensington High Street here, and we immediately go left up Kensington Palace Gardens. Don't be intimidated by the security checkpoint, just ride at it and they'll let you through. Be careful of the automatic bollards though. This street has got loads of embassies on it, which is why that's there. So like you can see the Israeli embassy on the left here, I think the Norwegian ambassador's residence is just a little bit up there, Romanian. It's a really nice, interesting street to ride down, but we're not going to go the whole way up it, we're going to turn right here onto Kensington Apartments. Now slow right down for this bit because there is a sort of chicane that's been put in which creates a blind corner, which is a little bit dangerous. I should probably take that out, but yeah, just go through that gate very carefully and remember that we're sharing this area with pedestrians, so yeah, be courteous. Now we're just going straight on here, but in the other direction it can sometimes be a little bit difficult to remember which paths to take and which direction to go. We're in Hyde Park, by the way, so there's paths everywhere. The trick is to basically, there is only one set of paths that don't have a no cycling sign on it, and we're following them. You might notice on the ground, by the way, these little strips of cobbles, or some people call them rumble strips. They were actually put in deliberately a few years ago by the Royal Parks Authority to make it more difficult to cycle down here, even though this is actually a cycle route. So do be careful on them in wet and icy weather because they can be a bit dangerous. Unfortunately, the only alternative to cycling down this path is cycling on a really, really busy road with like zero cycling provision at all. So this still remains the best route. I think this route is pretty handy, by the way, if you say, I don't know, work in Kensington, but you live out on the Great Western Main Line somewhere, so you get the train into Paddington and you need to commute by bike. You can get the tube, but this takes actually about the same amount of time as the tube, and it's obviously cheaper than doing it. So if you can bring a bike in and ride from the station, it's actually a pretty good way to do it. Now, we're about to leave this shared path here and we're going onto the main road. There is a crossing here, and to be honest, it's a little bit ambiguous as to where the cars have to stop, but many of them do, which is good. And we turn left, and now we're on a dedicated, protected cycleway. This one was put in by Transport for London a number of years ago. It's really, really good. It's not shared with pedestrians and it's not shared with cars. Now you see that there's a sort of a tan coloured strip of road to our right. That is not a cycle lane. That is actually a horse ride, as we'll see now. Look at those horses. They are coming from a riding school in Hyde Park, and funnily enough, the horse ride actually predates the cycle lane. For many years there was excellent provision for horse riding in Hyde Park, but there was not a protected cycle lane, which, as someone who commuted down it at the time, I found quite weird. If we were travelling in the opposite direction on this route, by the way, and we followed it all the way through, we could actually get to Westminster, and in fact you can get it all the way to Canary Wharf, and then there's many more destinations in the east of London too, which I'll show you in future videos. Hit subscribe if you want to see those. It is a great protected route with a curb separating us from cars. It's so high quality that, you know, you'd be totally comfortable taking kids down here or something like that. You can't actually see them in this video, by the way, but the Italian gardens in Hyde Park are to our left, if that helps you get your bearings. Now we're coming up onto Bayswater Road, and you actually cross the road here, and you join the cycle path on the left hand side. Now make sure you go past the gate here so you can see the cycle level traffic lights and wait for them to go green. And you come out onto Bayswater Road and you've still got a protected cycle track, and we've got a protected cycle track for the whole of this journey. There's a few too many traffic lights here, I think, by the way, but you know, make sure you pay attention to them because they're what's keeping you separated from traffic. Slightly weird design here. You do actually cross the road again. It tells you to do it. Here you go. I nearly missed that one. This is nice to see, by the way. It's an older lady on her bike. That's basically what happens if you put in good cycling infrastructure. It's a completely unremarkable sight in countries like the Netherlands or Denmark or whatever, where this sort of thing is quite normal. Now, we're coming up to traffic lights here. These are temporary traffic lights, and normally you'd be a little bit further forward. What I'm actually doing here is coming off my bike and coming onto the pavement as a pedestrian, and I'm crossing the road as a pedestrian. And we're actually pretty much here. This is Craven Road, and there's an entrance to to Paddington Station on this road. I'm just walking down here. To be honest, you could ride on this road if you wanted to. As you can see, there's not a lot of traffic, but you know, you don't really need to. There's you're essentially just here. The entrance to Paddington Station is on our left here before this big building. You just need to cross the road. Thanks very much for watching, guys. Don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed it, and yeah, do subscribe if you want to see more routes like this. And this is the entrance here, by the way. As always, I will put a link to the online live map in the description of this video, so you'll be able to find it. It's on a website called Komoot, and you should be able to download the GPS file and put it on your own device if that helps. I'm also interested in getting your requests for other routes to do, and also what you think about this route, because it is a bit shorter than the other ones I've done. Is it handy, or is it just like too obvious? Yeah, let me know. Thanks very much, guys, and goodbye.